In the Predator Championship League pool, we've seen Chris Melling make a winning start against Eklund Kachi by 5 racks to 3. Next up, it's a man from the edge of the Pacific Ocean against Albin Ouschan. Naoyuki back on the table. Strange match that to start us off, Carl. Both of them made a lot of mistakes, but Melling got over the line in the end.
Yeah, it was well, it was a pretty poor performance from Kachi. Melling looked okay, to be fair. He looks like he's up for the job, and you know, I suppose the big fluke at 3-3 kind of sealed the fate of Kachi, and well, it was a big fluke though.
Yeah, no doubt at all about it. Very often I think we sometimes look back and we almost go searching for the shot that defined the match, and maybe in reality it didn't, but in that case it certainly did. And even though it was only 8 racks played in the end, there were so many shifts in momentum. So Chris Melling off to a winning start, and he may be back on pretty soon, because on the other table David Al-Qaedi is motoring along. He's 3-0 up now against Mark Bijsterbosch, who could be facing 2 defeats from his first 2 matches, and when that's over, Melling will be on there to play Al-Qaedi. So this is Albin Ouschan, the former world champion from Austria, who played 44 matches across 6 days and nights in Milton Keynes to finally clinch his place in the winners group. He's had a rest day now, so I'm sure he's well refreshed. He's certainly played in after all those matches, and here's the break in rack 1.
Fantastic break shot in the opening rack from Albin. Controlled the cue ball in the centre of the table, and he's got a shot at the 1 ball.
"30 years of age, from Klagenfurt in Austria. Big breakthrough for him was getting to the World Championship final in 2014 when he lost to Niels Fine. And as you'll know, if you were with us throughout last week, he then went on 2 years later to win the World Championship itself. Beat Shane Van Boening in the final, leaving the American legend still without that title.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Albin gets on today. He's obviously played a lot of pool. He said he still feels refreshed and he's good to go. So obviously this is the last day. It's finals day, and kind of get the feeling the big players left in this event will rise to the top, and you know, it's time to give it 100% focus, and it's game day. And maybe that just is kind of what let Kachi down as well. You know, I know we speak about him as being one of the big guns, but he's still yet to win that big tournament, unlike Fido Gorst and Joshua Filler, who are of course the same age bracket. They've got them big titles next to the name. Kachi is still searching.
Yeah, for me it was the ideal scenario for Ouschan. He got all those matches, he built up some prize money as the days went by, and then he still managed to have a break. And I think 1 day is just ideal, because it's all you need to refresh really, and you're still going to feel played in, having spent so much time on the table. So I think it just worked out ideally for him. Got to spend yesterday cheering on his sister Jasmine, who won a couple of matches, not enough to make it to the group semi-finals.
So Albin's purposely played the cue ball there because he's going to spin this 8 ball in with right hand English to come 4 rails for the 9 ball in the right bottom corner. Need to make sure you get enough spin on it though, because you can often scratch in the left centre. But there you see, off the 4th rail, and good opening start from Albin.
Can't ask for better than this. Break and run in the opening rack. Albin Ouschan leads 1-0. As much as physical rest, Carl, it was a good chance for Ouschan, I think, just to reset his mind a bit, because we know his mentality had improved a lot towards the end of the week, but he still showed a lot of frustration, and he seemed to be getting a bit bogged down in things as the week went on. So just to have had that day to reset and refocus and take a new mindset into today. I think that's ideal for him as well.
Yeah, well documented when Albin burst onto the scene as a junior. Yeah, he was an angry pool player back then. He used to throw the chalk and whack the cue on the table, and he's kind of calmed down. He said in the comms yesterday, you know, as he got a little bit older and he had a daughter, kind of changed his outlook a bit. And the great Roger Federer used to be a bit like that, you know, Michael. When he first burst onto the scene, he was known for smashing the odd racket or two.
Yeah, I mean, there's someone like that in every pool hall. Generally, though, it's very rare for that guy to actually be the best player in the pool hall. But he's gone on to become one of the best of the world. We all know them, though, don't we? People who are just a nightmare to play against, not because they're good, but because of the antics that go on. But Ouschan is certainly a very good pool player, and he's made a good start there. Naoyuki Oi, 38 years of age. People talk about him as a character and a bit of a joker, Carl, but he gets on the table. He's very serious.
Yeah, delightful character to be around, and his interviews are very funny. I'm sure people have seen Naoyuki in the interview room, and he means business this week. He knows this is a big tournament. Funny, we were talking about smashing rackets and cues, and well, just as I watched this 9-ball possibly go in,
one more roll would have done the job.
Yeah, just as we were talking about, like, you know, sportsmen being angry, and it's unusual for them to be the best, arguably the greatest 9-ball pool player ever, Earl the Pearl Strickland. I mean,
now there's an angry man. But again, though, people will tell you once the action is over and the pool cues have gone away that he can actually be quite charming.
Yeah, he's okay as Earl. Away from the table. Naoyuki Oi nearly made a golden break in his opening break of the day, but he's got a very generous split. I'm not so sure what he's looking at here. He's thinking spin it round off 2, or do I float it with a bit of right hand English through the gap between the brown 7 and the purple, and that's what he does. He needs to watch the side pocket though. That was his concern. That's fine.
We were talking yesterday, trying to figure out in a very non-scientific way what the odds would be against having a golden break 2 racks in a row. Well, what would be the odds, I wonder, on having a golden break with your first shot in 2 matches in a row? Because that's what he did in the group final the other night.
I think I'll let you work that one out, pal.
No, it's a busy day, Carl. We'll leave it till the tournament's over. Well, we can't ask for better quality than this. A break and run from Albin Ouschan of Austria in the opening rack. And surely the same with the 9-ball sitting over the pocket from Japan's Naoyuki Oi in the second. So 1-1 here. Chris Melling was the first winner on the main table today. Here's what he had to say.
Chris, you've had a whole week's rest, but it didn't look like it in that match. You played really well.
Yeah, I had a good practice last night, played for about an hour. Actually put the mini butt extension on the cue. Seen a few players using it, and it just feels a little bit better when you're hitting the ball, a better feel to the shot. But pleased with the win. Obviously I made a few mistakes, which is the first match, so them things are going to happen.
And you had Carl excited in commentary with that 9 to go 4-3 up.
Yeah, Cal should know better. He knows I make them all the time now. It was pure luck. I tried to make the one in the corner, but obviously if you're hitting it with a little bit of pace, I had to draw the cue ball into the rail to create an angle. And you know, when I played the push out, I didn't mean to put the 9 as close as what it went to the pocket. So I kind of put myself in a little bit of trouble, but I still fancy kicking it in. But obviously you need a lot of luck, and I got it there.
And Chris Melling will be back on very shortly on table 2 to play David Al-Kadi. Back here, it's been perfection so far, really. Break and runs in the opening 2 racks, so 1 apiece. Just noticing there on Oi's shirt, he seems to have a lot of sponsors' logos. And that underlines he's actually quite a big name in Japan, quite mainstream in terms of his profile.
Yeah, he looks like a Formula 1 driver. And of course, both these guys at the table will be playing for their countries in the next event. Matchroom pool series of events coming up. It's not just this first one. The Predator Championship League pool, the World Cup pool, is next on your screens. It's the 9th through the 14th of May. Then we've got the World Pool Masters, 22nd till the 25th of May. That's in Gibraltar. And then the World Pool Championships, Michael. It's back the 6th till the 10th of June. Can't wait for that one. It's finally back.
Yeah, some of the biggest sporting events in the world still managed to go ahead last year, despite the circumstances, but a lot of them didn't, and there was no World Pool Championship in 2020, which was supposed to be the first year back under the Matchroom banner. So we're all so eager to see that one coming round. You mentioned the World Cup, of course. Albin Ouschan will be part of the Austrian team that defends the title. In fact, they'll be looking to win it for the 3rd time in 4. Mark Boisterbosch is hanging on well on the other table. He's back to only 3-2 down against David O'Cady.
Albin's got a nice safety shot on here. He's got a lovely wall of balls there to hide behind. Would have liked the cue ball on the rail, but I suppose the main thing he's got Naoyuki hooked. I expect Oi to hit this ball off the top rail. That's not difficult, but he's just looking to see if there's a kick safe available.
Extension. Extension, please.
So he's playing the more difficult kick shot, and the reason for this is because he wants to hit this ball full to get Albin hooked. And the danger with that is you can miss the ball and give up ball in hand. So that's a mistake from Oi. David Alcade's at the table on table 2. He leads that match 3-2 over Holland's Mark Bijsterbosch.
We were talking the other day about what a great record Albin Ouschan has in team events. We mentioned the World Cup there. He's got an outstanding Mosconi Cup record as well. And it's funny, it's those sort of perfectionist types who are a bit fiery. They tend to make great teammates, actually, and do well in team events. Think of John McEnroe in tennis. He was always a much sought-after doubles partner because he was a great guy to have in your corner. Seve Ballesteros as well in Ryder Cup golf. Could be as fiery as anyone, but was an absolute legend in that tournament. Doesn't always work that way, but sometimes the fiery characters who have the odd tantrum here and there can be great to have on your side.
Key shot coming up for Albin here is to make sure he gets good on the purple 5, which is the next ball after this shot, because he's got to get back for the 7, and the 7 will go in the left centre, so that's why he's just taking a little bit of time on this. Needs to make sure he lands high on this purple ball in the left centre. Oh, he's played a shocker there. He really has.
I think he's doing his own commentary there. No doubt what he thinks of that one. And this could be a big test today. He's going to have at least 6 matches. He'll hope 8. Clearly in the course of that, not everything is going to go smoothly. And a lot of it could be about how he reacts to it when he has these little setbacks.
Needs the cue ball to bounce in behind the 9. Looks pretty good, and it is good. So it's a good reply off a poor positional shot there from Albin Ouschan. And well, did Naoyuki go over to his little corner and get his jump cue? He did, so he's going airborne. Very difficult to call Naoyuki always shots, so I'm going to stay away from that one, Michael. and he scratched in the left centre, so the wonderful safety shot from Mr. Ouschan has paid off. David Alcade is about to go on the hill. He's leading that match 4 racks to 2, so early problems for Bice the Boss today.
Yeah, could be heading for 2 defeats from his first 2 matches. Worth remembering though, he lost his first 3 matches of the tournament last Friday, and here he is, still involved on the final day. And so is Albin Ouschan, and bit by bit he's got there in this 3rd rack. Not been one to remember. But Albin Ouschan has won it. He leads Naoyuki Oi by 2 racks to 1. We'll have more in just a moment.
Going to the bottom cushion, maybe off the 8. Oh, trick shot by Woodward. What a shot by Albin Ouschan.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith Ranger of Ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
A somewhat disjointed 3rd rack, but it went the way of Albin Ouschan, so he leads Naoyuki Oi by 2 racks to 1 in what is, for both of them, the first match on this final day, the winners group of the inaugural Predator Championship League here in Milton Keynes. And Naoyuki Oi, the 38-year-old from Japan, will have the break in the next rack. Over on the other table, it looks like David Alcade's off to a winning start with what would be his 9th win in a row across a couple of different groups. He's 3 balls away from closing it out at 5-2 against Mark Bijsterbosch, and for him that would mean it would be played 2, lost 2. And if you are going to lose matches early on, key thing is not to lose them by big margins, because if you do get the wins, you're putting yourself in contention, but it can come back to a countback of racks. If you've only won 4 in your first 2 matches, that doesn't bode well. Still time for Bijsterbosch to turn it around. He has a bit of a break after this before he plays back-to-back matches against Eklund Kachi and Chris Melling at the end of the afternoon session.
Rack number 4.
And Al-Kaidi is on the 9 ball there, so that is now going to finish 5-2. And Al-Kaidi will be staying on to play Chris Melling on that table in a few minutes' time. That's all over. Long way to go here, though. 2-1 to Ouschan.
Yeah, he's lost the cue ball to the left centre. That is a horrid break. You could see Naoyuki this week has been spinning the cue ball, and just watch how much spin this cue ball travels over to that pocket. One of the worst feelings for a pool player when you break and send the cue ball straight into the pocket. Sometimes it gets kissed, and that's also not a nice feeling, but when you put it straight in, it's like, get me out of here.
Yeah, and then you get back to your chair, you look at the table, you see Ouschan in a position like this, and you're bracing yourself for going 3-1 down. Yeah, I mentioned his great record in the World Cup. They've been in at least the final, Austria, in each of the last 3 stagings. Ouschan playing with Mario He. Beat the United States in the final in London in 2017. Lost to China in the final in Shanghai the following year. But then back in England, in Leicester in 2019. Beat the Philippines 11-3 in the final.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Mario. He's kind of a bit of a forgotten man. He's one of Europe's top pool players, and you know, one day I hope he gets his deserved, you know, entry into one of these Matchroom singles event, because he is a tidy player. He could do some real damage. He's like kind of a bit like Mark Bijsterbosch, where they just want that, you know, opportunity to get in the singles events, and I'm sure that day will come soon. And you know, he did qualify for the Mosconi Cup one year, and he had to pull out due to, well, just Google it anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's Carl going to get himself out of this one? Eh?
But that just shows you the level of player he is. And his playing partner, he's looking good, he looks calm. We've had no chalk throwing or cue slamming and punching his leg. Looks up for the job today, and it is finals day.
And that scratch from away certainly has the look of being the biggest moment in this match so far. Because if Ouschan can take care of the last 2 balls here, he's going to be breaking with the chance to take himself to the hill. Well, you said there was no cue throwing, chalk throwing rather. That one was purely accidental. So nicely done by Ouschan. Okay, so the previous rack was a bit disjointed, but other than that, he's been very efficient, and he leads Naoyuki Oi by 3 racks to 1.
There you see on the back of his shirt, it's like his own little logo with his name. It's the A and the O. So we'll get another look at that.
I was saying to Jasmine Ouschan when she was in the box here the other day, there can't be many brother and sister pairings who have played together for their country in a World Cup. I mean, they may be the only ones in any sport.
Well, if you don't know the answer to that, I'm definitely stuck with that one.
Well, I mean, there's so few sports where men and women compete alongside each other anyway. I mean, you're dealing with a pretty limited amount.
Yeah, the only thing where it might have a small chance would be golf, if there was some kind of, you know, some kind of mixed team event or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, the World Cup in golf, well, there has been a Women's World Cup staged a number of times, but the Men's World Cup has always been just men, so it wouldn't have happened there. We had a husband and wife playing together, I think, in the Snooker World Cup some years ago. Kurt Maflin and his wife representing Norway. 3-1 to Albin Ouschan, and he's got the break.
Yeah, I think there's 2 top lady golfers who are like in the top 16 ranked, aren't they? 2 sisters. Well, this is a tidy break. He holds his hand up because he lost a cue ball, but he won't really care about that too much. There you see. A lot of players flirting with that side pocket today, and of course Naoyuki always last break. The cue ball went. He did go in that pocket. So Albin's got a little bit of work to do on his opening shot.
Both of the Ouschans take a fairly scientific approach, I think, to pool. They understand you've got to build your whole lifestyle around it, prepare in the right way. So he will have known what was the best way to handle things yesterday, what was just the right amount of practice and preparation to do, because he will have been on the practice table, no question. And so far the signs are good.
Yeah, it's the Corder sisters, the two top lady golfers, the Americans.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of examples of brothers playing together and sisters playing together, but just the unusual scenario of two different genders, brother and sister, representing each other. Representing together, rather.
Not sure if the pink 4 ball pots in the left centre after this shot, so the way he's played it. You know, is he playing across bank, or can he just drop this in the side? He's having a good look, so I think he can get through to the potting angle.
I've just thought of Cyril Suk and Helena Sukova, brother and sister. Yeah.
Elaborate.
Tennis players. They won a few Grand Slam mixed doubles titles together.
And you've got the Bryan brothers, of course.
Well, they've won, what is it, about 4 million Grand Slam titles together. But like I say, the similarity between them and the Ouschans is it's brother and sister, which is a lot more rare. What isn't rare is Albin Ouschan playing very good pool, and he's doing that today. This is turning into a pretty accomplished performance here, and he's on the hill. He leads Naoyuki by 4 racks to 1.
Over on table 2, both players have just lagged off. That's David Alcade and Chris Melling. Both won their first matches, so quickly the day is starting to unfold. Top 4 players in this group will make the semi-finals. Everybody else is out. It's finals day. Who is going to be crowned the inaugural Predator Championship League Pool winner?
Yeah, there was a totally different feel around the place yesterday because everyone but one player was going out. On all the other days you had 7 players and 6 of them were still going to be involved in the tournament by nightfall. But yesterday 6 were eliminated, and it's going to be the same today. But listen, anyone who's got this far has obviously done well. It's hard to get into that winners group. Albin Ouschan certainly proved that.
So decent break from David there, you see, but he's got issues on the red 3. The purple 5. He's stopping it going in, so he's just lining up a combination.
Yeah, the tables are right next to each other here. They're just separated by a curtain. This venue in Milton Keynes has staged so much big-time sport. Lots of snooker. Pretty much all the big snooker events have been played here. The Masters, the UK Championship this season. Lots of darts as well. And it just works so well for it because you've got the venue and the hotel in the one building. So when you're trying to have a bubble system, this sort of place is ideal.
Well, is there any balls left, Naoyuki? He's potted 4 balls. I think that's probably the record this week. 4 balls on the break.
Yeah, we've seen a few. I can't remember seeing anyone getting to 5. He almost got to 5 there. 3 wasn't too far away from dropping in the side.
And he's got a tricky little table, even though there's hardly any balls left. He can't pot the 3, and the green 6 is jammed upon the 8 ball, so doesn't always work putting all the balls on the table.
Well, the famous Alex Pagulayan thing we were talking about, where he potted 6 off the break and they missed the next shot. Didn't even win the rack.
Yeah, that sounds something like what I would do. Looks very much like he means business today, doesn't he, doesn't he? I've not seen a smile yet.
Yeah, well, this is it. People think of him as a bit of a laugher and a joker, but put him on the table with a cue in his hand and it all changes. He's all business. You don't travel all this way just to laugh and joke around. And now he's got a chance to win the tournament. He's still here on the last day.
Yeah, that was a nice safety shot there from Naoyuki. Japan, they've produced 3 world champions over the years. They're no stranger to the big wins. I'm not going to attempt the names.
They have some really big events over there as well. Some big money tournaments over the years.
So Albin Ouschan is going airborne. He's trying to pot this ball in the top right hand pocket. Well, I think he was. I might give him the benefit of the doubt there and say he was trying to play safe.
Can be hard to tell sometimes with a shot like that. Okay, so Oy has to make the most of this chance. It's not routine, but when you're 4-1 down, can't pass up openings like this.
Now, can he break out the green 6 here? That's what he's trying. He's trying to bank and tried to just hit the 2 balls. Now, this 6 might pot in the right centre. If it doesn't, he'll be playing safe. But if it does go, I think he will play the pot and try and spin the cue ball off 3 rails back out for the 7, and you can't afford to lose another rack, so it's a big shot. He played safe, didn't go for the pot, ducked the cue ball in behind the 9. Lovely shot there from Japan's Naoyuki.
Yeah, as I was saying, not routine, but he will have felt he should win the rack from there, but not necessarily by doing it in one go. He was able, by making that first pot, to have control of things and play a good safety and just keep Ouschan under pressure in this rack.
There you see Albin just unscrewed the bottom of the jump cue. It comes in 3 pieces with 2 joints on, and whenever the cue ball is close to the ball that you're trying to jump over, players always take the little bit off at the end, and unfortunately he's stuck that up. So still a match going on here on table 1. Table 2, David Alcade, he did break and run the table, so he leads Chris Mellin 1-0.
Yeah, Oy played the patient shot on the 6, and ultimately it looks as though it's going to yield him the rack. Tough start for him, playing Albin Ouschan. He's going to be one of the favourites, and he's played a lot of matches. Tell you what though, Carl, that's not a great shot at all. This rack looked to be all over.
Yeah, he's just under-hit the cue ball. Anywhere straight on the 8, and this rack was over. So now he's got to, well, he's got to either kill the cue ball or spin 3 rails round the table. Needs to avoid the scratch, and that's fine. So he'll be delighted with that one.
Nice recovery shot. Will it be the start of a recovery in the context of the match itself? Oy wins the rack, but Ouschan's still on the hill, and he'll be breaking when we come back.
Great shot by Woodward. What a shot by Albin Ouschan.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit the ball.
Last Friday night, Naoyuki beat Albin Ouschan by 5 racks to 4 in the semi-finals of Group 5 and went on to win the group. He's trailing against the Austrian today though, still hanging in there after winning the 6th rack. But Ouschan on the hill and with the break now in rack 7.
So, Michael, I think I've finally done you here because you're Mr. Statman. I've had a message.
Listen, it's you that calls me that.
No, listen. Right.
Go on then.
In 2001,
yeah,
Yuan and Lian Tan played badminton together.
Okay.
For Belgium.
Yeah.
In the Olympics.
Right. Yeah. So what's your point?
Well, you were saying that you don't think there's been a brother-sister duo
in a World Cup.
Well, Olympics. Is that not good enough for you?
It's not a matter of being good enough. It's not a World Cup. Yeah. Anyway, I came up with one anyway that Suk and Sukova. Anyway, thanks for letting us know about that one because it is pretty rare. Brothers and sisters playing big-time international sport as partners.
I still feel like it's 1-0 to me.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to get into a texting war with whoever sent that thing in about the badminton. You don't want it going back and forth across the net.
Wow.
Sorry. This commentary gig's just a racket, isn't it?
Anyway, back to the pool. Albin Ouschan is at the table. And it's clearly tight through to the red 3. On table number 2, it's 1-1. Chris Mellin also break and run, so that's a tight match developing.
Yeah, he's up against David O'Cady. Both of them looking to make it 2 wins from 2. That'd be a great position to be in. I mean, you would expect with so many good players, it's going to be a very tight group, and 3 wins put you in very good position to get to the semi-finals. And if you've already got 2 of those under your belt with 4 matches to play, happy days.
Yeah, so he could get through. He might have had to play that with a little bit of side spin to kind of change the angle, and now it's a good chance for a big win in his opening match.
Yeah, he's played well. I mean, there's no question about it. And if he is still going to be here late into the night, playing in the semi-finals and final, all those matches and all those days that he was playing right through to the semi-finals and finals are bound to stand to him. He knows what it's all about. He knows how to pace himself. I think he's okay in the 5 here, just.
Yeah, he didn't pot the pink 4 too clean, but it's okay, that's fine as well. So these remaining 4 balls, and the former world 9-ball champion has got his campaign on finals day underway.
Won't be long before he's back on the table. That match between Melling and Al-Qaidi on table 2 will be followed by Melling playing Ouschan. So he's probably got about half an hour or so. And he's going to be really pleased with this. The important thing in the early matches is to get the win, set yourself up for a long day ahead. If you can play well, it's a bonus. And he's played very well in this, but left himself with a slightly more testing 9-ball than he might have envisaged.
Yeah, he had to look up to the skies there because, well, it was a woeful positional shot.
Overall, though, it's been a very accomplished performance, so Albin Ouschan sends out a message to everyone else in this winners group. He's off to a very positive start. He beats Naoyuki by 5 racks to 2. Oi will be staying on to play Neil's